All right, man. Welcome back. You know the situation. You know where you at, man. This is fucking Pino and motherfucking news, goddammit. And we here with a new story for y'all today. So, there was a case in Sweden here recently, all right, where a father and mother had 3 children. The mother ended up having a schizophrenic episode. The state came in and took the kids. They offered no real reason why they took the kids from the father, who was not mentally unstable. The mom had to be treated, which is fine, but the dad and the kids had a good bond. They offered no real reason other than the fact that because the mom wasn't there, they weren't going to leave it with the dad. So, they took the kids and put them in a foster home with a fucking Lebanese Muslim family 150 miles from the guy's house. This is in Sweden. Now, the man and his wife were of Russian Christian ancestry. All right? They were devout Christians. I don't know devout, whatever. They're Christian individuals. All right? They're not Muslims. Their kids were placed into a home where they only spoke Arabic. Or Lebanese, as it might be. Right. I don't know what they speak in Lebanon. I don't really know. So, the kids were not allowed to speak English, placed with a foreign family while the father was still available. And he was not able to get to his kids because of how far away it was, and he was only given 6 hours a week to even visit with them. There was no allegations of abuse, no nonsense. So the dad went and snatched the kids and ran off to Poland. Sweden charged the man with kidnapping and issued a warrant with the European Union. In steps Poland. Poland takes the fucking case and brings it up to court and says the order violates human rights. A court in Poland did not send a Russian citizen to Sweden who took his children. The Polish court opposed the extradition of Russian DENIS LISOV, who faces 4 years in prison in Sweden. Earlier, the man brought 3 of his daughters from the Scandinavian country where they lived with the foster family. This is apparently like translated to English because a lot of this is not very well written. Lisov himself told RT that he was pleased with the verdict, but now wait for a decision on obtaining a residence permit in Poland. The Russian expects that his daughters will go to the kindergarten and school in Warsaw already in September. The Warsaw District Court examined the case of extradition to Sweden of Denis Lisov, who in Gothenburg voluntarily took 3 of his daughters from a foster family of Lebanese origin. The man was detained on April 1st at the airport in Warsaw, where he was waiting for departure to Moscow. The judge decided to remove the arrest from Lisov in order to prevent the extradition of the Russian and his separation of his family. In Sweden, a Russian citizen faces punishment. 4 years in prison for taking your own fucking kids. They do the same thing here. The court considers that European arrest warrant by the Swedish authorities in this case violates the freedoms and rights of the citizen Denis Lisov. If I was Paul, I'd have told Sweden just to fuck off in general. Right? Lawyer Lisov Babkin told RT that the court issued such a verdict guided by the need to preserve the family. In Poland, there is no such law on the basis for which one can judge a father not deprived of parental rights for taking his children from strangers. In addition, Poland initially stood on the fact that the family cannot be separated. Also, the court did not want to extradite Dennis since he faces 4 years in prison in Sweden. The hearings on the criminal case were held behind closed doors, but our lawyers worked there and did everything possible. It was after the court's verdict that an arrest warrant was issued, and then Lisov was put on the international wanted list, Candace says. As explained by the lawyer now in a court decision, the relevant law enforcement agencies will receive a request. The international search will be removed from Dennis in the near future. According to the court decision, not a single European country will extradite Lisov. Arrest will be threatened only in Sweden. Sweden has a bit of a fucking history for this. If I'm not mistaken, I'm 95% sure that's where Julian Assange is one of them bullshit ass rape charges. Sweden hates men. Let me put that all the way 100 here. All right, they hate fucking men over there, legitimately. So it says, I am very pleased with this verdict. We have saved the family. LISOV is a father, not a criminal. Everyone in Poland, the guardianship authorities, the prosecutor's office, the police, the border guards were against the separation of the family and did not allow this possibility. In June, the prosecutor decided not to detain LISOV before the trial, although usually he was always detained due to the threat of escape. DENIS did not. I myself am the father of 3 daughters, so the case of LISOV is very close to me, summed up the lawyer. I feel you. I got kids too. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not a dude on this planet who, like, when they're separated from their children, don't think like this. There's not one. You know what I mean? Every last one of us has this same exact mentality. We think the same exact way. I'm not sure this is the way y'all want to go with this. Right? Right. So, Kanzadian said today that everyone who was worried about LISOV and participated in work will be happy. But tomorrow it will be necessary to think about future plans. According to the lawyer, within a month, the question of refugee status, LISOV, should be resolved. Yeah, and he probably will get it. DENIS himself, in a conversation with RT, did not hide his joy, although according to him, it was very worried until the last moment. I bet you were, man. Yo, nobody likes relying upon a court, you know what I'm saying, to grant you your freedom. That's something that, like, legit, you should kind of just have. This is why we have the right to bear arms here. Like, you know, you want to come take my kids and hold them. Yeah, you better bring a long stream of body bags. I'm glad that this heavy stone fell from the soul. DENIS shared with RT before the meeting. I was worried, and with lawyers, of course, hope for the best. They reassured me that everything will be fine, but I'm still worried. After the judge read out the verdict and the tension passed, now the Swedish side has the opportunity to appeal the court's ruling, but we hope that they will not do that. They probably will. They're leftist. You know what I'm saying? Leftists hate men and hate fathers, and they don't want to see their daughters raised by white men. You know what I mean? Because, you know, they want to eliminate the white race over in fucking Europe. That tends to be how it operates. DENIS told RT that he would now wait for a decision on the issue of obtaining a residence permit in Poland. He also spoke about the health of his daughters, recalled that after suffering the stress, the girls health of all girls was greatly shaken. Yeah, their emotional state might have been, but their health is probably cool, right? Right. The eldest daughter lost 15 kilograms and her body was severely depleted. The youngest daughter developed asthma, and the middle one stops breathing. Yo, man, I'm saying, yo, this is translated horribly. You know what I mean? The middle one stops breathing. Like, if you stop breathing, you stop living. I don't know how that operates, right? The eldest daughter is now on treatment. The youngest needs a specialist examination. Now, there's no problems in obtaining medical care with the help of the embassy. Lawyers in the Armenian community, we get everything we need. The girls feel much better, shared the Fox in September. Daughters were able to go to kindergarten and school. Now the question is being resolved. Recall that story of DENIS LISOV was publicized in the spring of 2019 as RT previously reported a native of something moved with his wife to Sweden in 2012. 2 years later, a woman became seriously ill and went to the hospital. Then the guardians intervened in the privacy of the LISOVs. They considered that the father alone could not cope with the parental duties, seized 3 daughters, and placed them in foster care, foster family of natives of Lebanon. Yo, look, man. Sure, see, I say Lebanon because, like, we have a place, like, right down the road called Lebanon. Yo, it's actually the same people too. You know what I mean? Like, yo, but we like them. You know what I mean? They're fucking awesome individuals. They came here long ago. Yo, see, that's fucked up. You know what I mean? That the father alone could not cope with the parental duties. Yo, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, if it was a fucking mom, you'd help the bitch. You know what I mean? But since it's a fucking dad, you didn't want to give him no fucking help. That's the reality of it. Like, that's the real fucking problem. It's this bullshit ass fucking double standard about shit. Like, yo, if a mom gets sick and the dad's left with the kid, just like if a dad, like, gets sick and dies or whatever, or he ends up fucked up in jail, the mom gets help. You know what I mean? Like, the mom gets lots of help. The dad didn't get dick for help. But, like, all these fucking immigrants you move to your country, you give them free housing, you give them fucking free food, free medical care. You know what I mean? You could have given this dude all the same shit. You know what I mean? You could have helped him the fuck out, and he'd have been smooth. He'd have been just fine. The girls often cried the orders of the Muslim family were alien to them. Then DENIS, during the next meeting, decided to steal his children. He moved to Poland by ferry, but at the airport in Warsaw, waiting for his flight to Moscow, he was detained under an international warrant. All right, so this is how it's supposed to work in the United States, too. You know what I mean? Like, each state's supposed to tell another state to go fuck themselves. You know what I mean? Like, yo, if it's some rule that, like, that shouldn't apply, like, say if, like, you know, if it's a rule in California at all, right? Like, any of the laws in California should not apply in the rest of the country. Right? You know, and like we shouldn't be serving warrants. And these are the only real warrants that we do serve, like nationwide, like child support orders, or like it's either the only things other than like murder, rape, and super major felony, like larceny, like big felony, like grand larceny, where you're stealing more than like $10,000, because they won't extradite you from another state for like a bullshit ass, you know what I mean, fucking like misdemeanor nonsense, right? Or if like you skipped out on probation, they won't do that. Like usually, you know, they'll fucking let you go, whatever. They don't fucking care. They're not interested in the hassle and headache of having to deal with like state to state for small petty bullshit crimes, right? If you're not like a major criminal. But like the only other thing that they do it for, other than major super bad criminals, is child support. And we actually have treaties internationally with almost every country in the fucking world that they can come in and snatch you for child support. That's how fucking strong the gynocentrism is in our goddamn country. And that's really a sad fucking thing. Legitimately. It's a sad state of affairs. But I wanted to bring you out this story, man. I figured you'd enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Legitimately, Poland, though I did declare war on you a long time ago, and I'm not quite ready to make peace with you, but we're getting close. Legit, man. You were really showing us like a lot of things, and you know, and I'm a big fan of, you know what I mean, that Polish dude who won the World's Strongest Man a bunch of times. I fucking forget his name. It's like Mario Pudzianowski. I like that dude. You know what I mean? Legit. You know, fucking, I thought he was awesome. He scares the shit out of me. And I really don't want to go to war with that guy. You know what I mean? But the rest of your country, all three of y'all, I'm not scared of you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how many people are in Poland either. I'm an American. I probably couldn't find Poland on the map. I know it's like by Germany somewhere, because I know Germany like went to war with it at one point. Anyway, man, yo, it's Tom Pizza Pito News. No situation. Peace you like one. Later.